Hello everyone, so I have been asked if I would put together a quick little video showing you guys how I do my intros and outros, or more specifically, how I add these little kind of eye contact intros and outros to a Media Hopper Create video file where I've done a presentation. So we're going to do that now, but before we do, you're going to need a little bit of video editing software because unfortunately, as great as Media Hopper Create is, the editing side of the platform's not fantastic. So we're going to need a little bit of software. Now, if you don't already have video editing software that you use, then you can download something called Shotcut, which is a free video editing platform that I'm going to use to show you how to do it just now. But if you've already got iMovie, anything like that you used just now, you can do this on your platform using the same principles. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do then is we're going to go to university's website and we're going to search for DIY Film School course. Now, this is a fantastic course that the media guys over in IS have put together. It's all online, it's all self-study, and it's just a fantastic way of giving you ideas of how you can make your own videos really well, just using the tools that you have at hand, and you don't need any fancy kit or fancy skills. But in here, and the reason we're going there today is because they have some editing software links for things they recommend. So if you're looking for video editing software, there are lots of options here. And like I said, I'm going to be using this today, which is Shotcut. So we get it downloaded and installed, and we're going to use it now. So to give you an idea of the type of thing I'm talking about then, this is a video that I produced to help students with how to upload video essays. So you can see it starts off with a bit of an intro. It's a face-to-face, setting people at ease, making eye contact and just doing that sort of connecting with the students thing. But very quickly, I turn to the computer because what I'm doing is actually on the computer, much like if you were doing your lecture presentations. And you can see then the clip jumps to using the computer screen presentation. And I do this again right at the end of the video just to say goodbye to the students. I call it an outro. Just to kind of round up the video. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. Okay, once you've downloaded Shotcut, you can see this is the basic dashboard that you have here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our new project. So we want to choose a projects folder to put everything in. And if I can ever give you any advice that's going to be useful, it is this. Always be neat and tidy. Okay, so have a folder and name it to be the project of what you're working on, and have one folder per project. And then inside that folder, you can have a folder that has all your video files. You could have a folder that has your presentations. You could have a folder of images if that's how you work, but do that, keep everything nice and neat. So, presentation file, into the presentation folder, and that's the intro and outro that you're seeing in this video, so I'm putting it into the video folder. Excellent. So, I've got my folder all set up, and what I'm going to do then is I'm going to tell my Shotcut software where that folder is just by clicking here, and then I'm going to go and find it. So I know it's in my ECA Work Shotcut folder. Open. Now, video mode, if you know what mode your videos are created in, you can choose it from the list. If you're unsure, for the moment, just leave it as automatic. This is a skill you can pick up as you go. It's not essential for right at this moment. But what will happen is, when you move your video file into the timeline, it'll tell it what mode to put the video into. Right, so that's the first thing we're going to do then. We are going to go to this section here, the playlist, and we're going to add our items to it that we're going to work on. So I'm going to add my presentation folder and I'm going to add my video folder, and you can see there we go. So I'm going to put my outro video in first into this bit here, which is the timeline. Okay, so you can see there, it's saying, oh, it's not the kind of format we want for editing, so do you want to convert it? Yes, I do. So I've got a choice. I can go from a medium-sized file to a very, very large file. But in relation to that, it means that you will have good quality going to the very, very best quality. Obviously, the best quality is going to be a much bigger file. Now, that's important because when you're uploading your lectures, the larger the file, the longer it is going to take to upload over the internet. So just have a think about this. So I'm going to go a relatively large file, which is decent quality. I can do this because I have really fast internet. You may have to think about this for your internet. So we can see here then, this is the window that we're going to work in. This is what the finished video is going to appear like. So everything you do in this timeline, you'll be able to monitor here. And this bit is the timeline where you can see that you've got your video, and underneath it, this waveform here is your audio. You can change the size of this using this little slider to suit your eyesight. If you're doing a lot of editing on audio, it's good to have it larger because then you can see the peaks and troughs for when you're working. But what we're going to do then is, I know I made a couple of mistakes in this video, so I'm just going to play this and tidy that up. So I'm going to start here,
showing you guys how I do my intros and outros, or more specifically, how I add these little kind of eye contact intros and outros to a Media Hopper Create video file where I've done a presentation. So we're going to do that now, and we're going to start by downloading
Okay, so you can see that I've made a mistake, so let's have a listen.
So we're going to do that now.
So let's cut it.
I'm going to start by downloading
Okay.
where I've done a presentation. So we're going to do that now.
So watch this bit here, the audio file. So if I take it back a bit.
Where I've done a presentation. So
you can see there, I go, so, and there's the peak. I'm going to cut it to just before that peak. So I'm right in there in the dip. And I've got, you can see the red around my timeline. So I've clicked on the file and I'm going to choose this little bit here, which is going to split the video at the playhead, which means where this line is. So I'm going to go click, and that's the first split. So now I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to actually delete the bit I don't want.
So we're going to do that now, and we're going to start by downloading So we're going to do that now.
So there we go. So again, I'm going to take it right back to the dip there, and this is the bit I'm going to cut out. So again, I've clicked on this file, I'm going to split it, and then that is the bit I want to delete. So I simply hit the delete key, or I can right click and I can remove. And you'll see what happens there. It's called a ripple delete. It pulls this bit of the video file back to match it up. So now,
a video file where I've done a presentation. So we're going to do that now. But before we do,
so there we go. I've got rid of the bit where I stumble, and I'll just keep doing that until I'm happy with this clip. And then I can add in my lecture slide. So I've already recorded, or you will have already have recorded your lecture using Media Hopper Create. So you've recorded your screen, and that's what I've got here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just add it in here at the end. So
using the same principles. So let's get started.
So you can see there, I've turned to the computer screen, and that's where I want this video to come in. So I could just cut this bit out exactly as I did before, or I can actually drag this clip to the line there. And there we go. So I'm going to move this back and see what happens.
The same principles. So let's get started.
Now you can see what happened there. There's a bit of an overlap, if you like. It's automatically put a transition in for me to seamlessly put those two bits together. Now, I don't particularly like that type of transition because you can see that it does this kind of fade, and I don't really want that bit of me coming up to the camera, so I'm going to change this transition. Now I could right click on that transition and click Properties, and it opens up this little property panel here, and you can see the transition it's chosen is Dissolve, and I can actually change it and choose any of these others. So there's my presentation file now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the very end. So I'll make this smaller because again it will just make it easier for working, and I'm going to add my outro. So I'm going to go back to my editing screen using this button here, where I can find my edits. So this one here was my outro, and I'm going to put that at the end. So now I'm going to just hit play, and you can watch the transition again.
Hello everyone. So
you can see there's a bit of a gap while I get myself ready. So same as before, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to work. And you can see again there was a big gap in the audio. So that's where I'm going to cut and bring it in. So let's go back to that dip and split it playhead, and same as before, right click and remove. And there we go.
hello everyone. So I have been asked if I would put together a quick.
So the last thing we need to do then is we need to save this finished video in a format that we can use to put it onto Media Hopper Create. And the way we do that is we go up to the menus and we go File and we Export Video. So you'll see it comes up with all its standard presets. The easiest to use is probably YouTube, very simply, because what we're doing is we're uploading this file to the internet, and a YouTube preset will do exactly that. So we've chosen YouTube, and now we're going to export file. And again, remember and save it into the correct folder, keep everything nice and neat. So I know mine's is in my video folder, and it's in my ECA work folder, and it's called Shotcut. And I'm going to call this Finished Video. You can see here on the right hand side, it's actually working to convert the video file for you. So it tells you how complete it is, and you can just leave it there to work away. So there we go, we can see there that the video has finished, and if I go to my project folder, there we go.
Hello everyone, so I have been asked.
One finished file that I can now upload to Media Hopper Create. So there we go then, nice and simple but very, very effective, because we all know eye contact is really important. So I hope that was useful, and I look forward to seeing your videos where you're putting your intros and outros on your lectures. See you folks!